All right, let's talk about one of the most fundamental challenges in business, maybe the most fundamental, finding customers. It is the absolute lifeblood of any company, but just knowing where to even start can feel like a huge hurdle. So let's dive in.
So let me just start with a really simple question, but it gets right to the heart of everything we're about to cover. What's the single, absolute, non-negotiable thing that every single business, I don't care if you're a tiny startup or a global giant, needs to survive? Yup, that's it. One word, customers. Without them, you don't really have a business, you've got a hobby. It's that simple. And the primary goal of any company is to attract clients. Because, as our source material from upGrowth puts it, what is a business without its customers? Okay, so knowing you need customers, that's the easy part. The hard part is figuring out how to get them. The market is just flooded with all this software and all these services, and it can feel completely overwhelming. That's why we're going to frame this as building your digital marketing toolbox, a set of essential instruments you need for growth. So what are we even talking about here? What exactly are customer acquisition tools? Well, put simply, they're the software and services that help you find, acquire, and even keep new clients. Think of them as efficiency boosters for your marketing and sales. So instead of just casting this huge expensive net and hoping for the best, these tools help you find the right people and connect with them in a way that saves you a ton of time and money. So, where do we even begin? Well, it starts with the hunt, right? You might have the best product in the world, but if you don't know who to talk to, it really doesn't matter. This first set of tools in our toolbox is all about solving that very first problem, just finding and identifying your potential customers. And here's the problem that I think so many of us have faced. You need to find the right people to contact, the decision makers, the potential clients, but it can feel like you're searching for a needle in a digital haystack. You're just stuck. You don't know where to even begin. And that's where email finder and outreach tools are just game changers. They're designed to solve this exact problem. For example, a tool like Hunter lets you literally just plug in a company's website and poof, you get a list of professional emails. Vol and Orbit does something kind of similar. Give it a name and a company and it finds the corporate email. And then you have these absolute powerhouses like BuzzStream, used by huge companies like Canva and Shopify that handle the whole shebang, from research to outreach. The shift here is massive. You're going from guesswork to a super targeted, data-driven process. Okay, so you've used an outreach tool and you've got this fantastic list of potential customers. Awesome. But that's really just the beginning, isn't it? Now you have to do the real work of turning that list of names and emails into actual sales. And this brings us to the next big hurdle. You have the contacts, but we all know you can't just send one email and expect a sale to magically happen. So the question becomes, how do you build a relationship? How do you stay on their radar and gently guide them through your sales funnel without being, pushy or annoying? Well, this is the job for our next set of tools, email marketing platforms. You've probably heard of MailChimp, right? It's an industry leader for good reason. It makes it super easy to automate email sequences and design really beautiful content. Then you have Aweber, which focuses on end-to-end solutions, like building landing pages and, crucially, making sure your emails actually land in the inbox, not the spam folder. And you've even got tools like Sendinblue that go a step further, combining email with SMS for a truly all-in-one marketing platform. All right, let's shift gears for a second. So far, we've focused on direct outreach, you going to them. But what about the other side of the coin? What about getting people to come to you? This section is all about building that public reputation, that brand buzz that makes your business a magnet for customers. And look, this is a huge challenge. It's one thing to reach out to one person at a time, but how do you get your brand's name into the headlines? How do you get noticed by journalists, by bloggers, by influencers, and the wider public? How do you earn that valuable media attention? The answer lies in public relations or PR tools. And some of these are just fantastic. Take a tool like HARO, which stands for Help Reporter Out. It's basically a matchmaking service. It connects you directly with journalists who need an expert source for a story, like right now. Then you have heavy hitters like Cision, a massive outreach tool that helps you connect with reporters at places like the New York Times. And then there's something like Brand24, which is a social listening tool. It tracks every time someone mentions your brand online, so you can engage with them or manage your reputation in real time. So we've looked at tools for finding, nurturing, and attracting customers. But how do you choose the right ones for your business from the dozens, even hundreds of options out there? Let's build a simple framework to figure it out. Okay, so how do you choose? The key is to be strategic. First, identify your needs. Don't just chase a popular tool. Figure out your biggest bottleneck. Is it finding leads or is it nurturing them? Second, research and compare. Once you know your problem, compare a few options on features, ease of use, and of course, cost. Third, and this is so important, verify reviews. See what real users are saying about their experiences, both good and bad. Fourth, always test drive. Never commit without using a free trial or demo. It's the only way to know if it actually fits your workflow. And finally, check integrations. The best tool in the world is useless if it can't connect with the systems you already rely on every single day.
So once you've chosen your tools, how do you know if they're actually working? Well, it really boils down to two key numbers. On one side, you have customer acquisition cost, or CAC. That's simply how much you spend to get one new customer. Your goal? Keep that number as low as possible. On the other side is customer lifetime value, or LTV, the total revenue you expect from that customer over time. Your goal here? Get that as high as possible. And the simple secret to a healthy business is making sure your LTV is way higher than your CAC.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Remember that quote from upGrowth? We can see it in a whole new light now. It's not just about needing customers. It's about having a smart, strategic, tool-assisted process to attract them. That process, powered by the right tools for your business, is the real engine of a modern company. So now you've got a framework and a whole set of tools to explore for finding, nurturing, and attracting your ideal customers. Your toolbox is ready. The only question left is, which tool will you use first?